Hello, everyone. How's it going? Been a while, hasn't it? Feels like not, missing Sunday for the rock show and then not having Mondays anymore makes the gap between streams feel so much longer. I have to admit. All right, let's quickly throw on some music here. I got some new music for today. Look at us being, what is it, fresh, hip? How would I say that? There we go. All right, let's put you on. There we go. Let me know if that's too loud for you guys. As always, that should be good. It's actually a little bit quiet for you guys. Yeah, we're gonna be listening to the Hades soundtrack today as we build, because I feel like it's kind of on theme for what we're building today. How's everyone doing, though? Thank you for the hydrate. Afternoon, folks. Afternoon to you as well. Gremlin, congrats on getting first. I see Rage. I see Gremlin. I see Necro. Driver. Quarry. Oh, Necrius, welcome in. How's it going? Syrup, good to see you as well. Scarab, Monkey Man. Oh, hey, hello, Glow, Derogatory. Hey, Monkey Man, how's it going? I was actually thinking of building for the submarine bounty, because, how do I say? I haven't been exactly impressed with the submissions so far. Also, one of the inspiration arts you used was from Anno 2070, which is like one of my favorite games growing up. I got jump scared by daylight savings time. True. Yeah, daylight savings exists. Wow, derogatory. Hello, Carson. How's it going? But yeah, so I realized it's my 2-year anniversary of getting an affiliate. Last week was my 2-year anniversary of streaming. Honestly, I don't think we really have much to do this year. I think it's just business as usual. Like, it's not that, like, I'm like, oh, it's just, I don't know. I feel like it just snuck up on me. I haven't had any plans. So I think today we'll just do a longer FTD stream and have fun, I think. Missions were so bad, I started building for the bounty. Damn, that's rough. I will say, I think there was some ideas planned out with the Glow Submarine submissions. And, like, I can always appreciate people volunteering their time and effort. And, and some of them took feedback. Well, how many rocks did you eat at the rock show? I had so many rocks to eat. It was great. You guys should have been there. It was a great time. I actually I took a lot of photos of stuff, too, which was nice because it means I could use it for future videos. So my next EU5 video, for example, is going to be in the Baltic. And I have this big bowl of Baltic amber in front of me that I can use now as a way to integrate my life into the videos. It's gonna be quite fun, actually. Also, the music. Yeah, I know. I love Hades soundtrack. I need to play Hades again. Okay, I actually don't have anything set for Saturday and Sunday yet, schedule-wise. Do we just want to put Hades in the schedule again? We haven't touched it in forever. And I never actually beat Hades. Because my controller broke just as I was going to beat it. We appreciate the effort. That one guy who built a certain plasma submarine must be thrown into cloud purgatory. Plasma so bad, Sabo Plaque was working better. How do you get plasma that bad? Hey, Henry, how's it going? Oh, Henry, I've been talking with Ben lately. We're gonna be stealing Ben for Ruins of Carfion. I haven't discussed that part of it with him yet, but just trust me, I'm getting that builder. Have you played Ben? Thank you, Cruiser. I appreciate it. Hey, Whitehead, how's it going? Yeah, as you can tell by the title, I completely forgot it was my 2-year anniversary today. Oh my god, chat, does this mean I'm the one who forgets about our anniversary and then like chat's the one who has to remind me? Because I actually didn't remember until I saw someone put it in chat. Hey, just dropping by at half attention, curious what you'll be doing. I'm going to be planning out a new style today. So, we have Silver Snow pretty solidified now. I've just been lazy. We have Roadwalkers pretty solidified in terms of ships. So I want to get Crimson Aristocracy started so that people who wanted to do the Pre-Dread style stuff can get on that. And Ben has actually helped me with the Crimson Aristocracy style, unintentionally. So we're going to be working on that today. Bro, you got an unfinished build in World Walkers 2. Someone else can do it. Look, that was just a stylistic example craft, okay? In all honesty, the Alwyn's probably never going to be finished. Because I feel like the other builders for World Walkers have just done a better job of my idea. But I might go back and finish it sometime. We'll see. We have small Silver Snow at least. Yeah, that's true. But someone else could develop large Silver Snow. They just have to do it right. That's the thing, right? Like, I'm willing to accept other people's ideas. They just have to do it right. I need more sauce for large Silver Snow. Then become the sauce you want to see in the world. What is it that Arrow has on their channel? Become soup? Just become the sauce. That's what I recommend. Forgot it. They keep it a 10 watch streak. Oh, damn, that's crazy. Small woodwalkers and only winter so far too. Well, Ben's gonna be helping with spring and summer because he has. I don't know if you saw those the roses he made that I pinned you in, but it's pretty good. I think I did at Morgana with the smuggy face from a forwarded message. I did see the roses. Yeah. Yeah, so imagine those, but like... Oh, you know what? Maybe I will do a World Walker's Craft. Because I'd love to have one of the ships just with purple flowers all over it. Alright, I've been sitting at the main menu now for a while. Just jamming, listening to music. But let's get the admin stuff out of the way. So, I think what I'll be doing is I'll be trying to release schedules on Thursday from now on for the next 3 days. And whatever that week's video will be. So this week's video will be a Sons of Six, how I built the Roman Empire. Because I've been waiting for Arrow to finish some Stone Age TTRPGs for me so I can play those for a video. But Arrow has not gotten to that yet. So instead, I'll be building the Roman Empire in a single day. Because they told me Rome wasn't built in a day to tell me to be patient. And I would like to prove them wrong. So that video is progressing well. I finally got it recorded last night. I had to restart the recording like twice. I was very frustrated to the point where I didn't join VC or do anything all week because I was just so annoyed with how that went. But what else have we done so far? That's actually a good question. What have I done? I pretty much only did that this week. Oh my god, it's crazy. Yeah, so tomorrow, you know, I am kind of feeling Hades now that I think about it. But honestly, it might just be an F to D weekend. We'll see. I might do some because I don't need to do any more test runs for EU5 because I already have my next run in the works and I've already tested it out. I don't have to do Sons of Six. I will have to wait until next week because I'm releasing the video this week and then next week we'll do probably the rest of the Roman Empire on stream. And then yeah, I think that's all we have honestly. It might take up the odd one if you're officially abandoning it. Yeah, if you do something with it before I get to it, that's fine. Over CC to build for, and you said to wait till you had done the big silver stuff. Did I tell you to wait? That sounds like something I would say. Yeah, that's fair. When I make smaller builds, small builds are still... And okay, honestly, I have to hardcore disagree with that. Welcome to my hot take of the day before we even get into the game. Honestly, I think small builds take a lot more skill to build. Sorry, I'm using a dime as a fidget spinner right now. I think small builds are a lot harder to build, but there's a lot more skill involved. So this goes back to my, like, if you build too big, you're just kind of a bad builder take, which is one of my hottest takes in the community. You should be able to effectively beat whatever you need to at less than in terms of cost and size. My argument for this being that campaign builds aren't optimized unless you're fighting SD, in which case, yeah, match them for size, that's fine. But everything else has specific built-in weaknesses so that the player can win a campaign. Small builds are harder because it's so much less size. Yeah, exactly. They're small builds are harder for sure, but it's a lot more expression of skill I find than big builds where it's just you just kind of build till your stats are maxed out. Big probably makes it look empty or too cluttered, I would guess. No, too big just makes it look empty for sure. What's your definition of small on our? Yeah, but small build definition for people who build battleships standard and normal size for us. Well, exactly right. So I consider the campaign limit of 35k volume to be big. Or 30k volume, I think. Either way. That's my scale. I use a campaign scale. So anything that's big in campaign, I consider big. So Megalodon, that's massive. That's a super battleship. It's 90k? Whereas like some people like Potat regularly build above that, right? And that's just because sense of scale for his ships. But I like being able to face my enemy at their cost point and at their size point usually. So for example, actually this is a great example. Where's the Privateer? So the Privateer is on par with the Ransack. There you are, my boy. I want it. I'm showing it off. 1 second. The reason why I set this up like this. There you go. And then, ta-da! I shrink down. Look at that. It's a hotkey now. Isn't that so cool? All right. So look at that flawless transition. If I remember those two. Kibble, thank you for the stretch and the hydrate. Oh, I will get right on this. Oh, I just woke up too, so I have not stretched yet this morning. I pretty much shot out of bed, got the garbage out on time, which was nice. Because I swear to God, the garbage driver, like, the recycling guy doesn't come around until 2 p.m. The garbage guy, he is there like 7 a.m. on the dot. If you don't have the garbage can on the road, he like flips you off as he drives past. He's crazy. He doesn't actually do that. He's actually a very respectful guy. He's actually stopped for me a few times to help me out, and I really appreciate that guy. But I mean, like, he is there every morning, on the dot at 7 a.m. Side tangent complete, though. So the Privateer is meant to face things like the Ransack. It's actually my replacement for the Ransack, essentially, for my own custom Paphos fleet, right? So you can see here, it's like, what, 186? Oh, okay, he has gotten a little bit more expensive. But imagine he was less expensive. I think it's because I gave him the active defenses. So what is the Ransack? The Ransack's like 160? Yeah. But so I'm a little bit over volume, I'm a little bit over cost. But I'm still in the same wheelhouse at least, right? Compared to like the Plunderer, for example. So I think I still do pretty well against the Plunderer, but I don't think I win against the Plunderer. And he came here for a little. Yeah, no worries, Speed Awaken. Have a good one. Good seeing you. Small builds and large builds are different kinds of difficulty. Medium is ideal. Yeah, I'd say the Privateer is like my average ship size. I have some that are bigger, some that are smaller. Because like the Selkie, for example, is too small. Well, I wouldn't say. To be fair, we did accidentally make the Selkie a godly, right? So I wouldn't say. Maybe I wouldn't say too small. But the Selkie right now is currently a godly. Potad and I checked just the other day. It was very funny. And it has armor, which does let it survive a few hits, surprisingly enough, but it's still obviously going to die to anything bigger than it. So it might take something down with it at cost and below cost and below volume. So like, what's in the Selkie's price range? 51k, right? Corsair. Anyone else? Outlaw, surprisingly enough. Patchwork is actually, how do we do against Patchwork? Let me see this. I haven't tried it against the Patchwork yet. I am curious now. Let's just play you at like 1,000 meters. I assume the missile is just one tap, yeah? Oh, I turned off his AI, whoops. There you go. Yeah, so... yeah, that's about what I expected. Okay, Patchwork does survive. You guys thought I was going to do custom campaign today. No, I just ended up testing the Selkie more. That's what every stream will be from now on. It's just watching the Selkie beat fins in different cost brackets. Missiles make up the godly. So true. Selkie for me doesn't look like a small build, but if you consider a main gun and missiles and all support stuff, it is smallish. Yeah, it's about 4k volume, which I'd argue for boats is... like, it's definitely ballooned in size and cost over the years. Don't get me wrong. The 2024 one was only, I think it was 2.3k volume. So we've definitely gotten bigger over the years. And again, it comes down to your definition, right? So I use volume as my my example. So anything below 5k volume to me is a smallish build. And then you get like tiny builds when you get below like 1k volume, right? So a lot of Ash's vehicles, for example, are tiny builds that are all too thick for small build. And then whatever. What do I still do? Yeah, so like Carson's yellow pin, for example. This is a small build. It's below 2.5k volume. I will say Carson did absolutely cook on this. I do love this one. Well, yeah, so stuff like that, of course, right? And then what else is there? Hey, Monster, how's it going? Yeah, Ashes are a good reference for small where you need to know how to fit stuff. Exactly, right? Or Glau is also a really good reference. Not that I'd tell Monkey Man that. I know he's not listening anymore, so we're safe. But, that is good coffee today. Holy shit. Got a new brand of coffee at the store, and I'm really enjoying it this week. But then again, maybe I was just French vanilla'd out. Alright, anyway, off our side tangent here, which has taken us about 20 minutes, let's talk about the new style, shall we? Let me pull up a screenshot here. Because I need to go steal something from Ben. Where did you post this, Ben? Oh my god, we talk way too much. There's Irontown. Oh yeah, there's some really cool Onyx watch stuff he's done that I want to incorporate. There's some discussion about Minecraft, yada. Oh my god, how much do we yap? Okay, here we go. So this right here. There we go. I kind of want to do something similar to this for Crimson Aristocracy, but make it a little bit more evil feeling and a little bit more Dracula's Castle-ish, right? So imagine these like on offsets. But the oblique pattern here is what got me going, oh wait, I can do this. The yap pile is true. Unfortunately, Glau is Monkey Man free until he actually gets a build in. So true. I started and ended a war over steel and a vintage story server. Oh hell yeah! God, I love playing vintage story. It's so much fun. I just never have time to invest in it. Kind of like Ark. Well, okay, no, it's definitely like Ark, because I used to love Ark when it came out, because I had gotten the Stomping Lands growing up. And the Stomping Lands was a fucking scam. So when Ark came out, I was like, oh, cool. This is the Stomping Lands. And then they actually gave you custom cosmetics if you had the Stomping Lands on your account, just to flex on them that much harder. And then Ark just turned into fucking slop over the last 10 years. And I'm so annoyed. But yeah, so basically, base of the tower with these little peak fins, and then have this like little scales going up. I kind of like the scale idea. So it kind of gives me more of a draconic vibe, but again, Gothic architecture just kind of does that. Then as we go up, just continue it. Yeah, so we're gonna do something like that for Crimson Aristocracy, I think. Now let's remove that before I accidentally reveal the YAP files. So that's the plan. We just need to figure out how we're gonna put those into multiple different turrets and whatnot. And I think that's where the Dread Sovereign Studio Ghibli battleship format takes place. Because we could have each of the turrets be one of those little, like, towers, or it's just based off one of those towers, and I think they could be really fun. I already have a building club. Gravitas, you're such a hater. Gravitas is a confirmed hater, but he's an equal opportunity hater. He hates everyone equally. He's British, after all. He has to. It's not like the Portuguese who can afford to be nice to people. Hey, Shangaroo, how's it going? What happened to Ark? Last number was a survival dino game. They tried to make it super techy and like give it a story when honestly it should have just been dino survival. Basically, Ark gets unfun the moment you get gunpowder. This is okay. Oh boy, another side tangent. Yeah, Ark becomes not fun the moment you get gunpowder. That's my hill I'll die on. Okay, we get the Dread Sovereign in here. So I do think I still want to go for this general style. Because, you know, like a lot of smaller plasma guns on the, Oh my god, what the hell have I done here? What was this build concept? Now that I'm looking at this. Can I even make this work? I honestly have no idea if I can make this work. Being British is almost as bad as crimes being French. And? I'm not gonna lie, he kinda got you there, Monkey Man. The and just kinda wins. The concept was, yeah, it was based off the Studio Ghibli battleship. God, I love Hades music. It's so good. Yeah, it was a specific screenshot from the front, and then we were gonna put a front-mounted gun at the front. The issue is that honestly, I might just restart this. Maybe one of those ones where it's just easier to restart and try to build it up. The gun layout is interesting, though. I have to admit. I don't think this works. All right, so let's do something that's smaller. So what do we want to spawn in? Because keep in mind, so this style is probably going to be the most comparable to a Neater style of being Onyx Watch and White Flares kind of combined. Do I have Crimson Aristocracy colors yet? No, I should probably get on those. Alright, you're going to be a Crimson Aristocracy Salon. And then after we're done this faction, when I go to build the last two factions, we're going to have to act... Oh my god, I hate this game. Crimson Aristocracy. Imagine if I could spell. Crimson Aristo. Alright, there we go. We'll just do... Why is this custom free? This is so far down. There we go. See ya. Alright, we will load that up. That's currently the one fin from Yusaf's custom campaign. I forgot what X's of Nova and Xara. I forget what the faction I was building for was, though. Alright, let's start something new, shall we? So we know we want it to be metal. And that's about all we know about this so far. Have I written out the guide for Crimson Aristocracy yet? I feel like that's something I would do. Or at least you think it was something I would write down so I know what I'm working with here. Hey, I did write it down. Let's go. Alright, I got their lore here. I have to read my own guides. This is crazy. It's been so long since I've worked on this. Or I'm actually going to Gothic this. I'm absolutely going to judge this faction if it isn't actually Gothic architecture. It's going to be an approximation. It's not gonna be exact. Remember you going off specific screenshot? What did I miss? The quote. She'll go to the only place untainted by Monkey Man builds. Get it out! Okay, that's pretty funny. Okay, gotta go take my final. Hey, good luck. I thought you already did your finals. Either way, good luck though. See, when everyone shows up, the teacher's been known to keep them from taking their finals because one person wants to drag ass. That's crazy. Is Dark Gothic still Gothic? I would say it is. Thinking Castlevania on the series Castlevania. Well, that's what it's based off, right? This entire faction is based off when I was watching the Castlevania Netflix series, and then I ended up reading the books afterwards and playing some of the games. But that was every 3 weeks because that's how long the classes last for. Oh, okay, interesting. I did not know that. So we are not allowed railguns. We're not allowed EMP. We're not allowed incendiary. No flamers, no lasers. Baseline to be worked on. We get cram, which no incendiary, no EMP, and okay, so we get APS, we get cram, and then presumably we get plasma because every faction gets plasma. And then I assume that oh yes, this is the faction that gets pack, right? Because pack is blood magic. Right. Okay, I'm remembering how I set up. I have to remember my own fantasy world rules. Dark Gothic is kind of an aesthetic. Okay. Is this a survival game? It is, yes. Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you. Nice ship. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Truly the most complex one. So I think... Do we want to start... Well, let's take a look at some Onyx Watch ships. Surprisingly enough, I'm actually going to use Onyx Watch ships as an example for once. I can't believe it. Which one am I looking for? I think the Jormungand is actually really good. So I think hull shaping wise, we do kind of want to keep. I don't know if we can steal anything from Onyx Watch hybrid style actually. Yeah, because I'm thinking about it now. I don't think there is anything to steal because it's just Onyx Watch is such a unique style. I do genuinely love it conceptually. All right. No, we're just working on a new style today. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to space it out. And what am I going to make first? Honestly, what we might do is we might just start at smaller pieces. Because I know we normally do hull up, but what if we just start smaller? Castle... Dania, Dracula's Castle. So let's see what we're... So we're working with a lot of spires. We're working with a lot of freestanding structures. So that could be fun, actually. Having some turrets off to the side, maybe. I don't want to do catamaran. See, if this was a catamaran faction, this would be so much easier. But I can't have 2 catamaran factions. I wonder, this might be easier to start off as an airship faction, I wonder. Because I already have the idea for what I want to call the puppeteer, which is going to be the faction's carrier. But, can I just start with that, maybe? That might just be easier now that I think about it. Alright, chat, do we start with the airship or do we start with a boat? I'm going to be releasing a bounty after I'm done the example graph, so do you want to do airship bounties first or boat bounties first? That's my question, really. Sky carrier? Alright, sounds good. We'll work on the puppeteer one. So what I need, then, is I need 3-meter slopes. And this is where Avorian's diagonal asymmetry would really come into handy. What's there for a loser? So true, Makara. 1 to 2 meters slope. Oh, so 1 second. What's the thing that puppeteers use? Like a little hook combo. Puppeteer cross Finny. There we go. Control bar, cross handle, or okay, marionette crossbar. There we go. All right, so we're gonna put this on an angle, I think, for the marionette crossbar. I just want to put it on a sub. It might actually just be easier to put on a sub object. Honestly, there's nothing stopping us from doing that. Let's just do that. Right here. That's the wrong one. There we go. Boats are for losers. Alright, so we're gonna, let's say... Let's do 7 wide, I think. Yeah, that should work. That's 9 wide, but 7 wide. Then we'll have it come out here. And then... remember what we're doing. Yeah, we do have to have... Just so I know where I am. Alright. Take you off. You... Alright, and then where next? That's what? How many forward? From there. We'll just say it was like 7 forward. Yeah, actually, it was probably closer to 5 forward. Now that I look at it. Yeah, that was about right. Alright, now we come from here. There we go. Now we just do the same thing. Also, I realized that this is the only game I actually flick properly in for the build controls. Like, I don't even do this properly in CSGO, which is really funny to me. Alright, take that last one off. Alright, that's almost equal. There we go. Alright, so here's our little crossbar. So basically the idea for this is I want to have the crossbar set up so that it's at a 45-degree angle. There we go. And that will be our runway. Now the question is that centered? Yes, it is centered. Okay, huge. And then you'll have all like the little parasite fighters come off the either side. That's the plan right now that I want to do. And then in the future, maybe we can do more stuff with that. But having the crossbar there is going to be really fun. Because that will be both our runway and where they can descend from. So we'll have kind of like just the puppeteer over top of it with the flight deck. Now, obviously, this is just us bricking it out right now. We're not actually going to leave it like this. That being the topic, however, I do need to clean up down here. This is going to be quite the weak point. Also, I will say the Hades music kind of goes hard for for building. I'm not going to lie. This is nice. All right, let's have you here. Let's really beef up this area. All right. The nice thing about building a custom faction is that I don't have to follow Nita rules for once. Which means I have a lot more freedom about how I want the deck opens and how I want to do things. Because, for example, I don't have to worry about, what's the word? What is the word? I'm actually blanking right now. I'm sure I'll remember it eventually. Oh, I don't have to worry about, like, stuff to do with, like, spin blocks and, like, or, you know, deco height and stuff. It's very nice. What's the word? There we go. Alright, so we have our little control mechanism here. Now, building this as is right now doesn't really help me with the general shape now that I think about it. Yes, it does, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to have one tower come out to either side, I think, as the control towers. Or maybe one tower be a control tower, like a flight deck, and then the other side be a... Oh, you know what? Actually, what if I have the tower come out the back from the control deck? Kind of like a Providence cruiser. What if I just build a vampiric Providence cruiser from Star Wars? Have we considered this, Jeff? Because having the spin block here means that we can get away with quite a bit. Alright, we're going to put a wedge here. Actually, what if I do... Alright, let's take a look at Castle. So I'm trying to think of how do you know, so Castle, like, you know, Dracula's castle has those spires, right, that are floating off to the side. And that's what I'm trying to emulate right now. Is those floating spires off to the side. But obviously in FTD, they're going to look unsupported. And they're not going to work great for turrets. But maybe we can get them to work. Like, I will say, this is probably the faction I have... This is the faction I have the most lore fleshed out for, but the least style fleshed out for. Also, the Tristan-related themes from the various Diablo soundtracks. Oh, okay, cool. I'll have to look into that. I will have to look into that for sure, Necros, because I've never played Diablo. I have to admit, stuff like the Last of Us soundtracks. Okay. Last of Us is another game I've never played, admittedly, but it's one of those games that's on my list, though. All right, so if we put you here, do I want to do this at a 4-meter angle though, or 3? That's the question. Because the crossbar doesn't have to rotate, so I don't have to worry about that too much. It's just whether or not I can get it consistently in the line. Well, actually, no, because it's all 1-meter slopes, right? Because we put it on a spin block instead of trying to do it with actual blocks. So now that I look at it, I'm kind of regretting. No, it's gonna be easier to do. All right, I kind of like the 3-meter idea. All right, so let's do like a little bit of this here, maybe. That's gonna be too wide. Let's reduce you down. No, okay, what difficulty do we want? This is the question. And what size are we going for here? Is another question that I have. Because I like the marionette theme. So this is going to be for the the aristocrat subfaction. So for those of you who don't know, Crimson Aristocracy is split into 3 subfactions. You have what's it called? You have the aristocracy, the peasants or the thralls, and then you have the blood frenzied. Blood frenzied are obviously just vampiric nobles that have gone feral. You have the aristocrats, which are kind of like your white fighters priests, and then you have the thralls, which are enslaved peasants that kind of do like all the funny little melee stuff. So I think this is going to be a combination of aristocrats and thrall build, with the fighters being thralls, and the actual carrier itself being aristocrat style. So assuming we're going with that, I think yeah we'll keep this we'll do this as an aristocrat style. So that means like really clean lines, not too wide. Then you come back here. Yeah, so we'll build up the first portion here with like some Gothic architecture, and then idea. We'll have little side towers coming off the sides here. In that case, maybe I do want to make this a little bit wider. No, I think we're okay, because they're going to be hanging down from below anyway. Yeah, okay, so this actually works. Okay, so what we're going to do then is tower coming away from you. We start here-ish, I want to say. And then just, put some oomph into the connection. So how does Dracula do it again? Okay, Dracula actually has pretty thick spires, which is a crazy sentence I wasn't expecting to say today. And it's kind of arched as well, which does not make that original sentence better now that I think about it. And then some of his spires are upside down. Okay, interesting. So he has upside down spires alongside. Okay, this could really add to the style. Best not to build as good as you can. You can later nerf it if you need. Oh, I agree with that, yes. But I still like to build with a difficulty in mind, so that I understand like how much can I get away with aesthetically, how much can I get away with functionality-wise, right? That's just a personal building motif for me. All right. So let's just build it. Let's just build it out to the one size, and we can always fix it up later. So it kind of actually doesn't really arch from the bottom. It kind of arches from the side here. So maybe I can arch from here-ish. Go. Do I want it that far out? I kind of wanted the towers to be a little bit closer, actually. Alright, maybe we start with the towers and then we'll figure out how we connect them. No, because I need to start with the connection, otherwise I'm gonna get lost in the sauce. I know myself. Yeah, those definitely need to be thicker. And then just end it here, I guess. Maybe this would be an oh yeah, you know what? This will be an underside, and we'll just have the towers in here. All right. Move you out just by a little bit. There we go. So, they seem too big of towers. You guys make them smaller as we go up. Have these as the foundations. This is such a hard style to like get from my head onto paper. Does that make sense? This is definitely one of those harder styles where I'm like, I'm not sure how I want to do this. Alright, it's fine, whatever. Alright, let's come back here. Let's just get it set up. Yeah, okay, so this is obviously going to be too big. So let's switch to the oblique towers, like how we do on the Roman. Things we want here. Here. Actually, no. We want oblique here, don't we? Oblique here. And then put a normal slope here. There we go. Alright. Not bad. Yeah, this is a lot more the size I would have wanted here. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, so put you down here. Oh, actually, maybe we put this on top. Yeah, I think layering it up would be better. Damn, why design this stuff so difficult? Alright, let's prefab this out. And then just put you down, and let's put you one layer up. That should work, and then we're gonna do that solid, like that more solid base down below. And then we'll be able to invert this on both sides because it's gonna be spiring off from the main hall, which will be below the marionette crossbar. So I think we should be able to do this perfectly fine. There we go. Yeah, something like this actually works a lot. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Keeps that thin profile without making it too big, but still adds that definition. Okay, that looks a bit better. You shouldn't do this if you build as best you can. At a certain point, you spend hours testing over tiny details and you burn yourself out. There's that too. Like, so this is meant to be a style guide, not a finalized style. So this is to inspire other people, and then when they build, or inspire myself later on, right? Because who knows, maybe no one's gonna like the style. At the end of the day, I built this custom campaign for myself, as I constantly say. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's the plot right there. Alright, so we have the two spires there. Imagine a plane coming and landing this way, or the other way. Or they are dropped. Actually, no, they're gonna be dropped from down below. They're gonna be dropped from down below. Oh, cool. Oh, this is the original song. I've listened to Ellie Minibot's version of this, and I absolutely adore it. Maybe that's what happens with me. Yeah? Hey, it happens, no worries. Alright, so we have our two side towers. And those... Oh, you know what we do now? Maybe upside down spire. Alright, now let's get the baseline in down here. How do we want this to look down here? I personally think we do... let's get the shell in first for the armor. Alright, issue is, how do I combine it? Okay, so I like the side towers right now. How do we combine it with, this feels a little bit too bricked up back here now. But we're not done there yet, so that's fine. Alright, where's a Providence cruiser? I'm gonna base this off of Providence. I've been wanting to build a Providence cruiser in this game forever now. All right. All right, there's a province. So kind of just doing tube going forward. That's always the hard part with airships. It's trying to avoid just looking like a tube. Let's actually remove you. What if we... let's... How will we do this? We do this. We do this. No. Oh. Okay, yeah, that's kind of how I want it to look. I want it to look like there's a support beam coming out from between the marionette. So this I do want. So let's put you up here. Get rid of you. There we go. Hey, maybe this works. Maybe this works. Yeah, then we have one always in the middle. Then you come down here. They have to remember this crossbar isn't structural. Oh, maybe this does work. Oh, okay. We might. I think I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing the sauce come into play. Obviously, this is a very rough, unrefined version, but I'm seeing it start to. I'm seeing how the batter is made. You know what I mean? All right, and then we'll have that as the connecting point there. I think the issue is the crossbar is very undetailed right now, so. Does Rhoda have a faction naming scheme he can't pronounce? Oh, the Welsh, yeah. No, I think the Welsh is nice. I don't need to be able to pronounce it to have, like, you know, there's a lot of Japanese words I can't pronounce that I'm going to be using for Silver Snow. Don't worry, I'm going to be making all of my own, I'm going to be making all of the Principalities faction have French names, don't worry. Because I know half of chat won't be able to pronounce them. Alright, so let's do something like this, and then now we have it set up so I do it the wrong way. Isn't that crazy? Then maybe have this as the baseline. Okay, maybe we're cooking. Okay, dimensions-wise, I probably only want it to go out to, like, here-ish. It's maybe one of those ones I have to restart because I've made it too small. Actually, no, because I can fit a fighter in here and over here. Okay. This feels like it's progressing too smoothly. Obviously, I haven't put in any of the actual bins yet. There we go. Let's just you set up over here. Dial in. That's what I was looking for. Let's end it like that, I think. Put you here. There we go. Okay, and then over here. Okay. Now, I want some variation in the height at the front there. Probably have it dip down a little bit, actually. And then maybe I can get two more side pieces, kind of like what we have up here. See the type them? True. So I'm looking at this right now. The issue too is I have to make it decently World War I-ish. What if I put the crossbar on top of a point? Have we considered this? Oh, okay, you know what? I just said that out loud and now I'm looking. Oh, that might work. That might actually work. crossbar on top of a blimp with the spires coming off the side like that, that could actually work. So I feel like the World War I technology restrictions, or like stylistic restriction, kind of restricts a lot of faction creativity. What do we feel about that? Because honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm wondering, it's like, do I really need to keep that stylistic restriction? You know? Alright, well back here, obviously... That's... Let's say we keep it there. No, I don't think we're gonna do a blimp. I don't think it will work. I had a really cool vision there, but I just don't think it works for the vision of the faction I have. All right, let's add a little bit of detail to you, just so I'm not staring at you the entire time. All right. Now he's a little wrench. He's a little socket wrench. Making spicy ramen. What's this gonna be? This is gonna be the Puppeteer, which is the carrier from Crimson Aristocracy. Honestly, oh, you know what? That kind of gives it like the Castlevania stylistic cross, doesn't it? With the little flared base. Yeah, look at that. All right, we're gonna keep that. I like that. There we go. All right. Actually, just literally adding the flared edges there adds so much detail to this, because it kind of looks like Richter's Cross from Smash Bros. Or from I forget which Castlevania it is. I haven't played the games in a long time. Those games came out when I was a kid, which means half of you weren't born yet, which is really weird to me. All right. Where to go from here is the question. So we have the spire connecting off the side there, which I quite like. So I don't like that it just ends at a flat level here. That part will have to be fixed eventually, I think. From Smash Bros? Don't do my man dirty like that. What, you don't know Richter from Smash Bros? There we go, that looks a bit better. Why is that disconnected now? Ah, it's over here, that's why. Nice name. I'm assuming the cross also symbolizes those wooden crosses the strings came out. Yeah, it's based off the marionette crossbar. Yeah. So all the parasite fighters are going to be dangling off the side, and then there'll be some on the runway up top. And then we can do a massive Crimson Aristocracy symbol in the center of the. Oh, I'm going to add that now because that's going to bug me if I don't. I want that. I need it. In the middle here, there's going to be a massive circle, I think, which will have the Crimson Aristocracy symbol. And then maybe I'll replace that with some wood, I guess, like some reinforced decking. Could work, actually. Okay. Alright, let's work on this side a bit more. Because I don't like the front profile right now. The rear profile could use some work as well. As in, anything will work for it. I think this part has to go, unfortunately. It's not quite what I want it to be. Alright, I should worry about multi-decks at some point too. So like the front has to be lower than the marionette crossbar, obviously, but the back needs to be taller than it. Yeah, no wood, do vampire work-related duties. Oh, no work due to vampire. That's actually really funny. You know what? That's a fair point, actually. If we have it so that aristocrat-style ships cannot have wood on them because they're run by vampires, that's really funny. Because if they get a splinter, they just kind of die, don't they? That's a really good idea. I'll add that to the style guide. I like that. That's really funny. And then what else do we want to do is the real question. I like how these towers look, so I think we should build a bigger style one for the back there. And then maybe the back one has like a little spire coming off of it. Because the issue is like I don't want the spires to look unsupported, just hanging off willy-nilly, right? Hence why these ones are a little bit thicker than usual. Well, actually, you know what we can do? Oh, none of those Onyx Watch ships are in yet because we haven't had an update. Shit. I was gonna say there's a really cool thing that the new Onyx Watch ships do. Okay, I guess we're just gonna copy it manually. All right. So if I remember correctly, I should be able to take an oil refinery. If I could find it, where is it? It's miscellaneous nowadays, isn't it? Oh, is it fully removed? Oh no, there it is. Take the refinery. Let's just get you down here for now. These will probably have Tetris in them eventually, but I'm just, like I said, I'm just doing a stylistic part right now. Refinery, I hardly know where. There we go. Move you down by like 1.5, sure. And then scale you out to be 2 by 2. I want the dome. Let's see. So it seems like 2.2 is where we want to be. I don't know how the exact circle will fit, obviously, but we do something like this. There we go. And then we have that as the dome of our roof, right? Now, obviously, this is very messy. If we do something like that, and then, here, let's just fill in the oblique here so we don't have to stare at the mess part. There we go. Now, obviously, painted up and retextured, this will look a lot better. It's just an idea right now. I just want to see if it'll work. Oh my god, how many oblique holes did I leave down? God damn. There we go. So, something like that. We'll probably put another ring to cap off the top there. And then maybe we get rid of those like small little nuts and bolts over the connectors. Or maybe, actually, maybe we can put something on those, because they're only at certain areas. They are decently symmetrical. Actually, they're never not. What am I saying? They're not symmetrical whatsoever. What the hell? Right. Let's rotate you to like... Let's have you as close to each section as possible. There we go. That's a little bit more lined up now. That does undo the lineup on the central bit, though. So we're going to have to hide those with something. Presumably down each of those angles. Let's do matte override to, I don't know, let's say metal for now. I'm sure something else will come along later, but will look better. That's not what I wanted. I was going to try out the... Let's do that, and then let's paint you black. Maybe red. No. These colors obviously don't work. They're not the colors we need. And then just do some pulls off the top for the spires. Maybe some windows in there as well. But shaping-wise, how do we feel about that? Let's reduce the alpha on this to like 0.2. Bring this up to 1. That was a little bit too much. The alpha back to like 0.7. 0.7 alpha is normally where I keep my stuff at. So something like that going along the bottom there, I think could actually work quite nicely. Just apply you with the mirror. Alright, so obviously black is going to be our main color. I mean, but then do you want to avoid crosses as well? Not necessarily. So I feel like the marionette crossbar is more symbolic of what we're trying to do here than... Because these aren't necessarily vampires associated with Christianity, right? A wooden stake is funny, because it's a nice bit, and we could just say they're weak to organic magic, right? So maybe the elves hard counter the vampires. Maybe they're weak to, like, life force, because they're undead, right? There's tons of ways we can justify vampires being afraid of wooden stakes without relying on Christianity. And I just think it would be very funny. Having a massive cross in the middle of a vampire ship is an interesting choice. Yeah, because I feel like in this world, maybe the cross just doesn't mean as much as it would in our timeline, right? All right. This has the basic frame of the ship's spire. I kind of vibe with these spires over here, honestly. And then just have them spiral down, and then obviously we can adjust it so that they'll be asymmetrical. So actually, let's do that now. Let's have this one be taller. There we go. Then this one will be capped off differently, obviously. Because this one will have the 2-meter cap off. There we go. Similar to the center there. And then maybe the other one is one that goes down. We kind of treat them like an elevator system. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. There we go. So maybe something like that. And then this one over here can be capped off just at the where it already is. And then this one just maybe goes lower. Or maybe it's just a smaller one on this one. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. But asymmetry will make this build look good. There we go. Yeah, I will say the Puppeteer is the only... the Puppeteer and its Parasite Craft are the only parts of the faction right now that I actually have an idea for. And even then, the idea isn't that fleshed out yet, keep in mind. We do something like that. I think we actually take off the cap from down here. There we go. Meshes back on, please, and then we do. Alright. Honestly, what if we have this one form a giant tube back into the ship? No, I want the spires, not... I'm thinking too, like, steampunk industrial. Oh, and then you know what we do? We're gonna use the animated mimics in order to have it where if a ship is parked, it's gonna have the little strings attached. And then once an enemy goes in range, the decos will shorten down so that you can't see them anymore. So that way, when it's stationary and idle, it actually looks like the craft are attached via the little marionette ropes. All right, we have the idea here. We have plenty of... Okay, I'm gonna actually start writing stuff down. Let's grab a little notes folder here. I think I'm the only person who uses notes on Steam, but they're so useful. All right, Crimson faction. Marionette fighters. Rope. Asymmetric. Metric. Towers. Offset towers. Yada yada yada. Alright, there we go. Alright. This is having a marionette cross-get rigging UI mod. Ah, I have rigging UI mod. Jalanissa and I were talking about it a little while ago back in OFTD. I haven't used it yet, but I do have it. How am I hitting E? Oh. Why is it E? What? Well, that's broken. Alright, let's save this real quick and hope we don't have to redo this all. Because that is a restart moment. Because that is incredibly broken. Because I'm in the build menu and E did not do what I expected it to. Alright, do you corrupt now when I load you back in? No, okay, good. Alright, whew, that was working. Alright. I was gonna save you hours for strings. And I think what we'll do at the back is I want to have those Gothic arches kind of like what Ben had on his. So maybe we'll do some smaller towers in the back. The issue is I don't want to do everything to be just all towers and have it look like the Castellan, right? I do want it to still look like a unique style is the issue right now. I'm just not sure how we're going to achieve that right now. You know? If you do too many towers, the gimmick gets overdone, and I still want some part of this that is solid, right? Actually, let's design the front. So let's cut off this. Cut off this. Attach you to the main bracket here, I think. Get you attached in there. Good, you're attached now. Get you set up over here. So that you still look like you're a 2 meter slope coming up at least. Question is, am I using these 2 side towers for anything except what's it called? Vision, right? Flight towers. Control towers, that's the word I was looking for. I don't know if I am. And then we're gonna cut off back here as well. There we go. Let's have y'all figure it out. There we go. Yeah, I don't really want back here. I don't like this like 2 meter slope pattern I had going on. Alright, so this part I do like so far. Lamps and detection stuff or non-functionality? I'm thinking... Honestly, lamps and detection wouldn't be the worst idea, actually. The issue is we're not allowed lasers for this faction. Lasers are... So, the way I have it set up, so all the energy weapons are kind of evenly split between the nations. So, because energy weapons in this custom campaign are the magical equivalents, right? So, these guys get pack, which is blood magic, and then the special kind of magic is reserved, like lasers, which are a special magic in quotation marks, are reserved for their counterpart, the Principality faction, which is who these guys are rebelling against. And that's where lasers come in, and then everyone gets plasma, because plasma is generic magic. So like the dwarves, for example, have plasma and then incendiary weapons all across the board. Like almost exclusively incendiary weapons. Which, now that I think about it, I should have given the dwarves lasers. But, we only have so many energy weapons, is the problem there. Alright. Let's get rid of this little shell down here. I think this is a holdover from when I wanted it to look like a dreadnought. Which I don't think we can do anymore, sadly. Designing deep water guard craft is so much easier. Okay. Magical plasma CC. That's the plan. Whether or not we can get it to work is a different story. I want it to... No, I don't want it to extend out like that, do I? Just ask devs for more energy weapons? That's so true. Why haven't I thought of that? Actually, Siwas, which likely wouldn't, but sounds like they get con tops. Yeah, that's the thing, right? I don't think... We could do like one Siwas over here, maybe. But I think the taller one obviously has to be the Conan Tower. It might just be detection up there, honestly. That's the best we do. That's the best we do, right? And of course, that connection doesn't look thick enough now that I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm approaching this the wrong way. That might be possible. Let's cut off the towers. Then we'll just add beams until we get towers as ours. Assume this. Yeah, there we go. All right. Got the towers. I like the idea we had going there. Sorry, I had to cough there for a second. I like the idea we had going there, but the lower slope 2 blocks lower and fill it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But also, I kind of want to do more of a Gothic arch. I don't really want to have it set up where it's just straight there, I think. I think that's the biggest issue. Alright, let's take you out. How big do we want this one? I didn't really consider that either. I think around back here is probably where I'm going to want to thicken it out a little bit. Yeah, it's only 13 wide right now. But let's get past the last marionette area. There we go, something like that. Is that too round, do we feel? Kind of looks bulbous, doesn't it? I do want this to be a sharp faction is the issue. Yeah, it doesn't quite work. I'm so used to building Deep Water Guard. Like, that would work perfectly for Deep Water Guard. It doesn't work great here, unfortunately. Alright, let's get rid of you. Untethered. Get rid of you. Go. Ba, 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 ba. Up. Up. There we go. I do have free meters? No, that is. Alright. The issue is the side towers look great. I'm just not sure how I mesh them into any rear towers, right? That is the biggest issue right now. Do you agree with you about this? Does look. Let me see. Actually, I should probably move that out by one. There we go. Alright. That looks a little bit less flimsy at the very least. Then obviously this just goes until the end there. I think this is like the most I've ever struggled with design, where I have such a clear concept in my head of what I want, you know? Like normally if I get with Deep Water Guard especially, it's so easy to just get a clear concept and you're like, alright, I know exactly how to build that, but building the new style is always a little bit more difficult, a little bit trickier. But it makes it fun, honestly. If this was too easy, I wouldn't be having nearly as much fun right now. Alright, so let's assume that's what we're looking like. Alright, that's a lot more of what I wanted stylistically with the spires, at least. But the spires do tend to be curved. There's some straight spires. Most of the time they are curved a little bit, so I'm wondering if maybe I should... No. We could do a fancier curves at the back when we have the superstructure. Let's keep it a little bit more simple than what we've been doing so far. Alright, you go here. You go here. Here, we go here. Alright, and then we're gonna make this all darker for now. So what saw is this? This is great. Yeah, okay, that has a little bit more of the spire. And then, oh, do I do asymmetric spires maybe? Like, in terms of the... No, that's gonna be against... We gotta keep this part simple. we can fuck around on the newer one, but for the main one I wanna have it as simple as possible. Alright, you know what, actually? We are going to make these into weapons, I think. Alright. We're going to 3x3 plasma Tetris up here, I think. Having towers, always name them if you can. Try to make them have different shape sizes. Yeah, I know that. Honestly, what if we had the right one be a plasma cannon? I have an idea. I'm not so worried about naming the towers right now, honestly. I'm more concerned about the shaping, and then we'll worry about the other stuff as we come along. Instead, you come out here. And then from over here, what if we do like the start of a tower? But what if we were in mirror mode? Wouldn't that be crazy? This. Kind of like the Providence's like lead bridge, right? Actually, yeah, maybe that works. All right, that works at the front. We'll have an open bridge here. And then we'll do an alloy deck, I think. Just because of the no wood rule, which is still very funny, I have to admit. Let's have this be gray. Alright. We're probably just going to modify this color scheme as we go along. Plasma plus vampire equals something, that's for sure. Well, plasma is just generic magic in this world. Has nothing to do with the vampires, just everyone gets plasma. Okay, so let's not put the floor in this level. Let's get you out of here. Okay, yeah, I think having the forward parapet, or bastion, or whatever you want to call it, is gonna help with the shaping of this one. Because now that I have this here, I'm starting to see a little bit more of the shape. Dude, my mind palace is not working today. Normally I can like see something as I'm building it lately. I don't have it with this one. But that's why we do stuff like this. It's fun. Alright. I think what we do is we continue it up, maybe. Oh. How would I change this actually? What I'm thinking right now is I want this actually just a little bit higher, I think. Unfortunately. Wait until we design the plane first, because I have an idea for the plane as well, which is fun. I do want to have winds, not bat winds, but I want it to be like, you know, based decently off bat winds. All right, so about there is where we hit. So let's come up 2. Come up 1 maybe. No, let's come up 2. I want this as a raised platform. Empire's getting cleansed by holy light is kind of a mood. What do you think the lasers are for? But I like the idea of having them weak to life force, and that's why they can't have wood in their builds. That just seems very funny to me. Alright, so now we switch back to this alloy color. Oh, not having to do a deck pattern for once is so liberating. And then how we're gonna do the stairs here, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you, Chief. I haven't thought that far ahead. But you know what? For now, this works. And I guess we can just do this for now. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we do something like that. Not having that be flush is going to cause issues, I think. You better guard builder discovers the joys of metal. Yeah, because technically that is supposed to be a land in way, right? Actually, it doesn't have to be a land. What if we build superstructure on top of the marionette and then just have them as official parasite fighters? And they only hang off the side. Maybe that's what we just have to work with. Dude, what is... I don't want to build anything on the marionette crossbar, that was the issue. You know? That will be a choice for a different person. I don't feel like deciding that right now, honestly. I cannot be bothered to. let's just put you off for now. Then I think what we'll do is we'll grab you. You'll be the decider of what height you're gonna be, buddy. I think we're gonna be here. Yeah, it kind of works. I can perceive that working at least. And then you come in the side here. Let's actually make you like this. So that you do nicely encapsulate that area. And then we do something like this, I think. There we go. Alright, and then in here we just do shenanigans, I think. Y'all know how this works. Yes, it is. It's hard. What part of the game is this from? I want to replay. All right. Yeah, that kind of works, I guess. And then we could put a tower in the center here. That's like a bridge from the back, because, like I said, we're not using this as a landing platform anymore, right? We're using this as pure parasite fighters. So I think we can get away with this. So let's get that in. If you guys have any ideas, by the way, do feel free to pitch it. Because I'm at the point now where I'm like, I understand what I want visually, but I'm not sure how I want to get there. Have this as maybe just like a shorter tower. Actually, yeah, not even a tower. Let's have this as a platform that we can then build an arch off. Because I do want an arch going across the center of the marionette crossbar, I think. Like, the marionette crossbar is obviously the centerpiece of the build. But, maybe. All right, I'm feeling French today. Let's go back to Clair Obscure. We're not in the intense building phase anymore. We're now in the I need to hum and haw across the plains. All right, let's make it pretty tall. Whoop. Whoop. All right, that's the wrong way. There we go. There we go, and there we go. Okay. Now, again, we're painted with a lot of black here. We're obviously going to go back and detail this afterwards. Alright, there we go. Actually, is there any games that have good, like, Gothic music? I'm trying to think now. It's like, because Hades is obviously a little bit more rock than I'd want right now. Let's do something like that. And then from here, this is where we'd want, like, I don't know, like here maybe. No, let's do. I'm gonna be going all the way back, so let's do a proper. I did the wrong way around. I do want to start with you. Is that gonna work? Towers can't have to be taller because this is just the archway, right? Maybe the central tower is the tallest of them, and then those two. Okay, yeah, maybe the central one is the flight tower, and then the two side ones are plasma turrets. How do we feel about that? Actually, I kind of like that idea. I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. That will raise questions about the armor efficiency of the plasma turrets, and the answer will be there is none. Cope, sieve, mauled, I don't care. Alright, so we take you out, put you in below. Then this, move you down one, hide original mesh. There we go. All right. I say we make it. Yeah, I don't think we need much more than 3 wide, honestly, for the arch. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3 wide for now. There we go. Excuse me, yeah, that's gonna annoy me that it's not centered. Alright, so I need the arch centered, obviously. The amount there. Why are you split up? You're not supposed to split up that way. Honestly, we don't even need the 4 meter, I guess. Fair enough. Something like that, yeah? Hey, there we go. And then that means if the walkway is up here, I got to make this wider, obviously, but television OSTs that fit, but I'm not sure if they'd be okay to stream. Yeah, I try to stick to video game OSTs. Cool arch, by the way, thanks. I don't think I like it. I think it does need the 4 meter at some point. All right, so the arch is a bad idea. I still like the idea of having the frontal tower though. So we're gonna keep this as long as we can. Let's just put you back to 3 meter for now. Let's get the rest of the hull first, and then we'll worry about how to connect it all. If you at the center, in my mind, Gothic arch would be taller, but that's what I'm thinking, right? That's why I'm not quite a big fan of it right now. All right. But hey, it's a learning process. So put you down there. I think we cut you off. I will say, this is definitely going to be one of my harder styles, which I realize I've said that about every style now, and it's true. Every style I make gets more and more difficult as I continue this campaign, but it's supposed to be challenging for me, and I will say, it's challenging. Mission accomplished. Me and Tuzak have submitted microfibers to roast today. Nice. Do I maybe just go with the tube shape? Oh, God is in the heavens and the build inspires to unreachable heights, Finn, so should we start by going up 34 meters? Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's a fair point. I do quite like that idea. How you put that in there, no clue. Yeah, that's the issue, right? I could do massive spires. But again, it brings in the question, like, what scale are we building this at, right? How big do we want this craft? What if I have a gun in here? Yeah, and actually, that's something I haven't explored yet. Where do I want the guns on this? Because this would be very similar to the Dread Sovereign having the gun in the side here. Maybe that's not the worst idea. Oh, no, I know what you mean. I have plenty of reference art Necros. I know what you mean. Again, so the issue isn't Goth architecture. The issue is how do I translate Goth architecture to FTD? That's where we're struggling right now. And how do I still make it unique enough that it's not just Goth architecture on an airship, right? I still want it to have its own theme as, oh shit, those are vampires. We do this. Oh, we can't have any wood, can we? Ah, whatever. Stairs don't count as wood. having a front fire and gun here could be an idea. Again, that doesn't leave much for the rest of the hull is the issue. The main issue is I need to decide the constraints of the build right now. I need to figure out how the front is going to look and where it's going to end. Is this a gun craft and you could just fire a bunch of missiles? It's going to be a gun craft, most likely, yes. You could do towered casemates on the side. Yeah, and bat-shaped missiles, my issue with that is that it's a little bit on the nose, you know? We don't wanna make it a cheesy faction. We want it to be decently serious. Count Alucard, the first trips in the small stairs, dies from wood steps winter. True. Alright, could have it continue out from here, I guess, as well. Could be an idea. Let's do it like this, maybe. No, because I don't really want it to have it crimp into the middle. I also don't know how much room I'm going to need for parasite fighters. Maybe one of those ones I just have to cook offline, you know? I do find it's harder to come up with ideas on stream just because, you know, you also have to present as a streamer. You can't just sit there and stare at metal for the next few hours as much as I'd want to. Well, actually, better yet, let's look at that tower that Ben sent again. I might be able to use that for inspiration on how I want to do the rest of it. This might just be a shaping issue. So that's after we already... Oh, you know what? Maybe, actually. Oh, you know what we could do? We could have like a little side belt. Oh, you know, okay, I think I know what we do. Alright, let's yoink you. Let's go all in on the architecture. I was originally going to avoid it because I was thinking, maybe we don't want to go all in on it. No, I have an idea. If we do go all in on it, it means we can grab you. Where should I grab that? I didn't grab nearly what I needed. There we go. Alright, so come down here now to this level. And we're going to do 2 levels. We're going to have the main hall, and then we're going to have an outer hall with like a little balcony with all the pillars across it. I think that could look really neat. And then that little archway balcony will be where you can get even more spires in. So I say, have it on the same level as this here, sure. Let's do one here. Here. And how much is that between them? Not enough. At least put another one between them. There we go. So now we fit in. Not quite. There we go. Now we fit directly in between. Alright. There we go. We have 3 out to the front, and then I think we do 2 of these at the back. This is all just behind the marionette. So about yay bear? Alright, so there is our main area here. And these towers can go either up or down, and then I want a balcony in between them, I think. Finally back home, ready to really EP. Oh, nice. What'd you get up to today? Actually, not enough room between them is the issue there. Alright, so less towers. Same idea, though. Let's do this at the back first, because I think I know how I can fit this in at the back. I think I understand that much, at least. You go here. And what we're gonna do is... So from here... let's put you here. And then like this. And then maybe something like that. Then we'll have five balcony areas, and then we put in another prefab. I think that's how the back will look, but that doesn't answer how we want the front to look is the issue. Go, come out here, and then how far out are you? You're just connected to... Yeah, about there. Okay. Okay. So this will let us get a little bit more of a fire sense, at least. Does this really work, though, is the question. Not if I do it wrong like that, unfortunately. I forgot, but I need this in between, please. Thank you. Actually, needs to be... Okay. We have our space here. Let's completely redo this. That was a really busy day. Oh, nice. Oh, some days those are nice to have busy days, you know. All right. So ideally, we probably want actually 3 meter beams. So one here, one here. Is that 5 beams in the center, or just one more? Okay. There we go. I don't think we'll get anything set in stone today, but I think just having a start to the style, I'll be happy. Yeah, we're gonna have to redo that front because I don't think it's gonna work how I want it to. Wait, today's your affiliate anniversary? It is, yes. Connie, welcome in. Thanks. Yeah, it's my 2 years of Twitch streaming. Well, last week was my 2 years. This week it's just the affiliate anniversary. Okay. Then obviously this would be pretty tall. There we go, and then this would kind of be like this up here. So we could do something like this, but this feels very square is the issue. Which a lot of real life buildings are just very square. But you kind of want, it's funny, because you don't want to be too round in a game like FTD, but you also don't want to be too square. Alright, so we do something like that. Happy affiliate, thank you. Yeah, I didn't have anything planned for this year, so I just didn't make a big deal about it. I kind of actually forgot about it in all honesty. Now let's do this. Like this maybe could work. If we get the style in at least, right? Then maybe we can do a bit more of it. Let's just do it this way, it'll be faster. Alright. There we go. Something like that, I think, could work, maybe. There's across and L-shaped buildings. Yeah, but again, it's not quite what we're looking for. We could do L-shaped buildings. Maybe. This style might just honestly not work. At least I can't get it to work how I want it to, right? That's always a possibility I have to contend with. But some days I don't have the sauce. Let's try making it a little bit spikier, maybe. So at the sides here, instead of doing... no, we kind of need the... damn, those are oblique, aren't they? That's gonna be an issue. Okay, that's gonna be problematic. So what I was gonna say is... what if we start building some buildings like this, right? Where we have the spikes built in. This kind of fit for Helios. I had a lot of trouble where he's cut off the pink faction. Oh, yeah? I didn't know you were part of Helios. That's cool. Aristocratic style castle ships. Yeah. It's something I wanted to do for a while now since I had the idea. Because I gave the idea back in the day to Warmex, and then Warmex died. So I didn't get as much of a chance to build it then. Honestly, maybe I just need larger towers here. Maybe that's what I need to do. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do, actually? Let's leave him here as the puppeteer. So this will be our test bed. Puppeteer, test bed. Let's restart. Test bed. That looks horrible. Test bed. There we go. Thank you. Okay, because I do like the tower style here. Let's just get a building set up with that style, shall we? Okay, so we could probably do this for corners, right? Oh, yeah, that actually kind of works. And then the 2-meter ones are obviously going to cause issues. So I don't think we actually... damn it. It's not going to work how I want it to. Maybe we do just build off the original guy there. Yeah. Oh, well, we'll just keep working off this until we find something that works for us. A few Wandsfall ships, blazed hearts airships, and small jets more than 6 years. Oh, wow. I never really got into Helios. I just know Carson builds for it a lot nowadays. Well, if you ever want to get back into it, though, I know Carson does a lot of Lawnfall lately. I don't know if he's in charge of it. I don't know how it works. What if down here... that work? Gothic architecture. Let's get some more reference images here. See, all reference images are like structures, which isn't quite what we need right now. Alright, I think the biggest thing that we need to take away from this is that we need to layer. If we can layer, then I think we can do this. Okay, we have the 2 towers at the front. So let's get rid of the towers at the back then, actually, so we have more structure and less towers, per se. Again, I think maybe working off the Dread Sovereign would be easier now that we know how we want to layer it. Or maybe I just make a smaller craft, because it might be the issue, too, of, like, we're getting feature creep with a style guide, and it might just be too big. I don't like having my style guides too big, because it means that, like... you run into issues like this where you don't quite want to do anything with it. Alright, let's attach you to the back here, and then we'll cut off the back there. We had the right idea, just not quite the right scale yet, I don't think. Yeah, Sparking Crew still do stuff from time to time. It's cool to keep track. I just wait out of date for proper CC building. I did tournament builds mostly for the last couple of years. Oh, cool. I didn't know you did tournaments. I don't know. I feel like you could probably still get away with doing CC builds. It's a skill that you just gotta relearn. It's like riding a bike. You never really forget. You just gotta do some more. Okay. Okay, I think the idea at the front here is the right idea. I just don't know if the execution was correct. Like, let's say I do it how I was doing it in the back there, right? Except we get the right size in there. So we do something like this. Which, while being very cool with sloped armor, I don't know if it really works how I want it to. You know? Oh, you know what? Maybe then again. Maybe? Maybe this does. What if we just... Nah, it gets too flat to the front because of the offsets there. Yeah, we can't really do that with the lip at the top either. Okay, there's an idea. So in that case, we do have to redesign this front portion then. Tide Reaver figureheads were fun. Okay, yeah. Echoes now we could do wonders. Oh, absolutely. I'd love to see Helios reborn. I don't know if Carson's still working on it or not, but it was pretty cool with the stuff he was cooking for Lawnfall tribes. Alright, let's remove this for now. Okay. You don't quite work how I want you to, bud. And again... what if I do the hull sloping down the side, maybe? Can I do groundedness with this? I think the issue right now is I don't have a hull for the fin to come off of, you know? And building the hull after I build all the features is difficult for me. So I normally am a hull first type of person. Okay. Any hull is a goal. True, I guess. I don't know what that means, God. That's a good pun. I like that. Step it down. And then maybe some pillars? I don't want it to just end up as a flying church, you know what I mean? That would just be boring. I want it to actually look like a proper... maybe we go back to the blimp idea, honestly. Helios mentioned. True. Maybe we go back to the blimp idea. Thank you for the hydrate. Because I feel like a blimp would just incorporate everything so well. The puppeteer marionette part, the parasite fighters. I just don't know if Crimson Aristocracy would lose a lot of its character because of the blimp or not. You know? Double Johnson. Oh, thank you. Honestly, fuck it. Let's do a blimp. I've been humming and hawing about this all stream. Let's do a blimp. Which means we'll call in our resident expert blimp builder, Carson, who helped me with the Kurakami. There we go. This is based off Fire Nation blimps. Alright. Oh wow, it actually looks more Fire Nation now that we put it in Crimson Aristocracy colors. Go blimp, I feel Art Deco rather than Gothic might be in order. I disagree. Art Deco has already been done by Carfian anyway. Gilded Age vibe and Gothic, but it has more to do with IRL vampires and mystical ones. I'm not trying to relate it to IRL vampires. And I would argue that Castlevania is more Gothic than it is Art Deco. Also, Carfian's already stolen Art Deco as the design concept, so we can't use it twice. At least I'd rather not use it twice. And it doesn't have to be a full blimp, let's just have a basic blimp shape, I think. Let's say from here. From here-ish. No, that's actually not going to work, because then there's no point in having the tower struts if it's just based off a blimp. I do have to keep it a little bit smaller. We can do hero. And that means you don't have to worry about down here at all. Alright, maybe we can make this work. We'll have to worry about colors later. How wide are you at the start? Well, you want to be wider than you want to be tall anyway, so that's not actually a problem. Let's bring you up by 2, I think, actually. Let's just see if this works how we'd want it to. So it's a rather wide blimp, I will say. I don't think this is going to work how I want it to, so we're not going to be doing the blimp style. Castlevania has smaller steampunk vibes too under the hood. Yeah, I agree with that. I kind of want to incorporate that as well. Because Dracula's, like, you know, depicted as a scientist, not as a magical being, but he's a scientist, you know what I mean? Alright, unfortunately you're going back to the Shadow Realm until I eventually finish you. I like the idea of having the towers off to the side. I really do. Well, what if we do at the back what we did at the front, actually? Hold on. Maybe we're just building it the wrong way around. Alright, so about here-ish is where the front comes off. We put you here. But what if we moved you a little bit more out? Let's say we put you here. Nope. Let's only move you up by 1, actually. There we go. And then maybe we do kind of like a cathedral-inspired superstructure? Oh, gotta go. Let's find the end result. Yeah, no worries, Necros. Good seeing you. Good luck. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I said, it's gonna be one of those streams where it's just we just chill here and yap as I try to figure out the style I want. Alright, so we get rid of down here. Don't need this. Yeah, I think we were just trying to work from the bottom up just didn't work on a design like this. Especially with the crossbar being such a prominent feature, we have to incorporate it somehow. And we still want what if I make it a flying pre-dread? Let's say take right here. No, I think pre-jets need to be 2 meters. It's that nice thickness as well. Alright, here's an idea maybe, actually. No, I don't actually quite like that idea. Maybe I do. Give it a little bit of a shoulder. We ignore views. Take these out. Do something like this? Question mark? And of course, put you in over here. I'm sure won't cause any issues whatsoever. Is this for a specific faction? You see more. Oh, you're talking about Rockefeller. Yeah, this specific faction is Crimson Aristocracy. Yes, so it's one of the. It's the third faction. In the difficulty roster, it's technically the 5th faction, but how many factions? No, I've only designed 2 factions, so this is the 3rd faction we've designed so far. But basically, the idea is let's actually do this better, so we don't clip with the slopes here. There we go. Essentially, the idea that we're going for here is we want to have it set up so that this is like the we're doing the aristocrat style right now, which is a lot of those like Gothic architecture features. There's a dead horse I had to get cruisers out, but yeah, organics are hard, don't worry. Alright. Hold on a second. Maybe there is something we can do with this, actually. Wait a minute, I have an idea. What if we do keep the pre-dread style, actually, from Studio Ghibli? Why are you there? Forward, idiot. Thank you. So maybe here's how we can still make this work. You go here, you go here. If we make a little bit of a pre-dread fly-in hall here, the issue then is we have to make the airship look like it should be able to fly. Which means what? That probably means making it have. It's gonna suck. All right, we're gonna give it casemates, and then some of those casemates can have the arches in between them, I think. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. So here, let's do 4, and then cut out 5 wide space. Then we'll do 4. Similar to how we did on the Ronin, actually. And then from here, we got this space here. Is this gonna work how I want it to? Let's assume the 3x3 space is yay big. Okay, so put that in there. Maybe this does work if we put it 1 lower, I think. Let's try it 1 lower. But you actually come down here. you out. That'll leave room for the turrets. Okay, maybe. Maybe we're cooking something here. I think it's gonna be very flat is the main issue, which we can always spike it up later now that I think about it. Yeah, maybe just have two casemated guns at the front there. Hmm. It will give it a more industrial look, which I think is what this faction is like. I want the Gothic part, yes, but I also still want it to look industrialized, like it's militarized, right? That's going to be a big issue right now, is I do want that military aesthetic. I'm trying to figure out how we get that without sacrificing the Gothic part. An onion dome fit up top? Like up here, probably. It's not what I'm worried about right now, though. Can we do this? Let's assume we do this casemates based off the Dread Sovereign, yeah? Kind of almost gives it an ironclad vibe. Onion Dome doesn't feel Gothic to me. Which one are the Onion Domes? Oh yeah, no, that's a little bit too Slavic, like or Orthodox Church, not necessarily Catholic architecture. They do look good though. And honestly, a Kremlin theme, like, you know, like something based off, like, I forget what style of architecture the Kremlin was built in, but that style with like the onion domes and like the bright colors that you see on a lot of Slavic, like Orthodox architecture could be really cool. But not quite what we're doing today for today's goal. My question is, how is this thing even gonna fly? Because I'm not using magic as a way to fly stuff. I still want the propulsion systems to make sense. And I don't think custom jets have been invented yet for this campaign, so... I got the wrong idea from Crimson Aristocracy, yeah. It's very much a Gothic. So the casemates are kind of given ironclad right now, which isn't the best idea. So let's actually... What if we... Let me make it more castle-y. Up here, it gives us what, 3 blocks, 2 blocks of space. That's arrow plus armor, nice. We could do something like this. Could be an idea. Oh, you know what? And then maybe we have like little Gothic architecture coming up the side from here, maybe? No, it doesn't really work. That's it. Let's just keep messing around with it until we find something we like. That's all there is to do here. So we get our casemates at the front. That got 105. Hell yeah, good job. We're still just fiddling around with the same idea. I know the one feature I need for the puppeteer is the marionette crossbar. I know that has to stay. And I really do like the idea of the towers sitting between them. Whether we make those towers bigger or more further out, maybe that's an idea to be discussed there, but ideally I do need those to stay. And those casemates are just below the area there, that's good. Let's fit you in here. Okay, that makes you feel a little bit more solid, which is nice. Oops. Make you feel more solid. That's gonna be probably heavy armor to defend the turret case in there. All right. And then it does get thicker as it goes back, of course. I'll figure out how we incorporate the golf style. Maybe we put it between these guys? No, that's 4 meters. I was thinking maybe we do some smaller, like, rangefinder towers between the... Oh, you know what? Maybe that is an idea, actually. Let's cut this off. Let's make sure you're attached so you don't get cut off. There we go. And then that part of the back can fall off for all I care. I don't care. Alright, so what if we make it so there's a tower in between each casemate? Then that way we still get some of that architecture style without having to resort to just oops, everything's in a tower, right? Because you do want some of the guns to be solidified. And that would count. Let's give ourselves 1 pin of room. And then this is the 1 meter side. Go. And that would be this here. You can see how this would start. And then maybe instead of this area here, what if we give them a central walk that is attached with, and then that way we can incorporate arches. That would work. Again, so many Gothic architecture principles work on structures, but not on chips, unfortunately. There's a reason why they didn't make massive floating cathedrals in real life. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's actually get rid of you. I kind of like that bastion there, though, actually. For now, we'll remove the upper lip, because I think that's messing me up, too, because it's not stylized correctly. I'm gonna go nap. Okay, yeah, have fun. Alright. Yeah, so casemate tower, casemate tower. Maybe that's how we get this to work. And that way the towers at the sides don't look like they're left out. And again, is the plane going to be hanging right where the casemate fires from? Yeah, probably, actually. So maybe we start with tower, then go in the casemate? Might be an idea. Maybe we gotta get rid of this, actually. This idea doesn't work anymore, either. Alright, let's cut you off. Get rid of you. Alright, I think we start with the tower. Because that way the casemate isn't firing at the marionette itself. So we start with the tower. And then from here, go up here. Get you in there. So this is definitely one of the harder styles I've designed for myself. And then, oh, you know what? Maybe we have the castmates come out of the castmates. Maybe we have the casemates come out of the balcony. We do a walkway that includes the casemates. Like maybe a pillar and a tower between each casemate. I like that idea. What's the question of, do I like that idea? Okay, So let's keep the hull down here. Let's say it's like that, and then we want to do 3 meters here and here. That will get us 1 pillar. And go up again. Tower should have to be taller than that, though. The back or the front? This is the front. I think this kind of idea would work better at the back, honestly. You know what? It'd be so much easier to design as a water-based ship, because I think the ironclad idea, I was going to save ironclads for the dwarves and then do pre-dreads for Crimson Aristocracy, but maybe, you know, the two can blend. So ironclads are technically pre-dreadnoughts. Because you don't see them being used after dreadnoughts. They're not modern, but they are technically pre-dreadnoughts. Maybe have something akin to a metal Karak? Oh, maybe. Karaks are kind of already under Worldwalker's domain, though. I mean, I guess, bro. Hey, Henry. I'm not wrong. You don't see ironclads being used after the dreadnought, therefore making them a pre-dreadnought. Like, I'm not wrong, per se. I wouldn't be considered right, but I'm not wrong. I mean, I guess technically horses are pre-dreadnoughts. This is true. No, because horses are used after the invention of the dreadnought. Or the building of the dreadnought. So technically not true. Honestly, what if I just do an axe bow here and call it a fucking day? Have we considered what if I just give up on trying to do casemates at the front? And that means the marionette crossbar is very front heavy, honestly. But what if we don't need it to be an elaborate build? What if it's okay to have some time, like, to have some builds that aren't as detailed? Well, I shouldn't say as detailed. I still want them detailed, but maybe just aren't as complex mechanically. Maybe. Surely, like, someone in South America was running an ironclad in, like, 1970 or something. Last functional ironclad. Boat. Their last major seagoing ironclads remained in service until roughly the 1880s to early 1890s. So, unfortunately, no. Seems, yes. I don't think the South America, because I don't think the ABC wars had started by that point. Or like the ABC arms race had started, so. Okay, I actually like this bow shape, I just need it to be further out, I think. Alright, we're making progress now, because I found a bow I'm happy with. Let's put you up to here, though. Okay. Yeah, and then honestly, what if we just make it so that the ironclad, what if we just make it a flying fucking ironclad or pre-dreadnought? Yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it, we ball. And I think what we'll do is we'll do on the underside, kind of make it like where the blimp portion is, to showcase that it is kind of an airship and not a thrustercraft. I really don't want to have any thrustercraft if I can help it. All right, let's get you. Did I raise you one high? I did do that, didn't I? Shit. That was intentional, at least. Hopefully. Yeah, actually, let's make this metal. Okay, so extend that out. That makes a lot more sense in my mind now, at least, I think. Then we can fit more stuff on the sides here. And plus, it also centers the marionette crossbar a little bit more, which I'm happy with. I think specifically the French flagships, not the generic. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, so I think we actually do I think we do a dirigible on the bottom. I think that's what saves our ass here. So you know how like an ironclad has like the iron shell over top of the wood? What if we do an iron shell over top of the what's it called? Balloon portion. I think that's how we save this build. So we'll make that out of alloy. And then we can use white for this and then just lower the alpha a little bit and make it a little bit more yellowish, I think. Wait, that's bluish. How do we make it yellowish? We need red and green to make yellow. How does that work? A little bit too yellow, but we can always change that as time goes on. And then just minus 1 shininess. And like 85 alpha. Not good enough for now, whatever. And then something like this, maybe. Though at that point, I do want you probably to be like this. Get a little bit of a balloon shape. Listen to a fucking tree. Captain who definitely didn't lose a worship tool for Woodwalker's Man of War. It's true. I'm excited to see more of the sailing ships that World Walker builders make. It's definitely my least experimented style, hence why I wanted to have it, because I don't really get to often build in those styles. I don't know if this works. Honestly, I think the color is throwing me off as well, but for now, let's remove this. Get you back to white, I guess. There we go. I honestly don't know if the dirigible style works. What if, oh, let me try it once more. Maybe I'm giving up too easily. Put you here, and then we come down. Maybe it was just too shallow. That work better, do we think? Maybe? Build it a bit? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. Thinking I just maybe didn't give it enough time to cook. Let's play it out as if it was gonna round off at the front. I know what we need to do. We need to have a little bit more lip to the iron part. That's kind of what we need to do right now, I think. There we go. And then behind this is where we put the dirigible part. Imagine that was metal. Imagine if I... That's why I hate working with metals. They all look the same. There we go. And what if we come in from here? It should make it easier to adjust the bow as well. Hey, Spazman, how's it going? Maybe slightly steeper, but I don't see the vision. I'm trying to get it so that it's kind of like an iron... So you know how an ironclad would sit on top of a wooden hull? I'm kind of doing that, but with a balloon instead. As for the vision, we don't quite have one yet. We're just kind of crafting up the faction at the moment. And we're just kind of going from there. So there's no quite fully done vision quite yet. But that's what today's stream is for, so we can figure out, hey, do we have the vision? Because honestly, it's possible we don't discover it today, and that's okay. Something like that, I think, could work. Like my Zeppelin? Sure, I guess? Load caps rip. Out goes boat. It's not a boat, it's an airship, and it's going poorly. I'm deciding if I want to do it kind of like an ironclad style, and I think I kind of do. All right, let's expand this out. So we're gonna have to start at the front here, I think. I figured out how I want to do this. We did it the right color, but that would help. There we go. That's a problem, isn't it? So, oh my god, I did more alloy. God damn it, this needs to be metal. Oh, I hate building with alloy. Rah! I hate alloy. Right, let's move you back in here. Get you out of there. Alright, there we go. Actually, no, I do want to have one straight area, don't I? Yeah, and then it goes down later. Okay. Damn it. There we go. Okay. Now this is where we have it curve in. Alright, go. Probably get water at some point. I realize I haven't had water today, I've just had coffee. Sorry, I had the cough there. All airships can be boats, but not all boats can be airships. This is true enough, I guess. I'm not happy with it, but yeah. I guess it could work like that, couldn't it? I guess it could be like that. My issue is it doesn't quite work with the front as much. So let's cut this off the front. Let's see how far down we want the front to go first, and then we can curve it back in. Similar to how Corey did on the Bardiche. We might have to spawn in the Bardiche here to steal the idea from Corey, in all honesty. Okay. Yeah. I mean, no, not really, unless you mean specifically helium airships. I think that's maybe what they're talking about. I had to guess. Okay. Yeah, because the hardest part is making this look like it actually is supposed to be an airship, right? But obviously it has to be an airship for the marionette idea to work. Like, it's called the puppeteer. I want the marionette crossbar, you know? Okay, but airships can be on water, but boats can be on skies? Oh, it's just like there's more planes in the ocean, but there's submarines in the sky? I swear to God. Alright, then we come out here like this. And I think we do this. And then from here, we come back. And that's a little bit too high up, unfortunately. So, I guess we're doing you up here. Then you down here, buddy. Back, Jack. Welcome back, Monkey Man. You've missed your roast. You know, there's probably more airships in the sea than in the sky at this point. That would also be true, actually. That one's probably also true. Honestly, what if we just wedge it off? That goes too sharp. I don't want that. Alright. And then you match up here, right? Perfect, okay. So at what point does this become from balloon to ram? That's the question we're dealing with here. Yeah, more evidence that a roast is always a wrong foundation. For what part? That there's more planes in the ocean than there's submarines in the sky? That's just true. What do you mean by that? That one's actually just true. Actually, has there been any airships shot down in the ocean? I assume we've probably lost a few in storms over the years. I don't know maybe if they were shot down. Alright, so if we go here. You come over here. Maybe we turn this into an 8-meter slope, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, a bunch of airships got destroyed in storms. I don't know if any got survived long enough to get shot at. That's what I'm thinking, right? Like, did any survive long enough to get shot at? That's what I was talking about, roasts. Ah, okay. Alright, this is where the fun begins. They do want to have, like, the pointed bow. Make it spiky, right? I feel like the majority of this is just the issue is it's too smooth. It needs to be spikier. I'm just not sure how I want to spike it up. I think that might be a big issue here. Like, I think I'm just building too smooth. So, like, the issue is that I want it to be... okay, so the aristocratic style needs to be elegant, but it can't be too... can't be too smooth, and it can't be too spiky, because then that means you're not elegant. That's a very hard balance. Why am I making this so difficult on myself? Honestly, maybe the blimp with the crossbar over top is the right idea here. Maybe it's just the right idea. Yeah, we'll restart. I think the blimp is the right way to go. I think this whole flying ironclad finish is a little bit too disconnected from the idea of the campaign. Alright, so we'll do... what do we want to do? I think we're probably gonna need to be a little bit wider. There we go. Ay, ay, ay.
obviously we want it to be a little bit wider than it is tall, especially at the start here. I did that. I'm just not sure if the blimp idea works either is the issue. I'm not going to delete anything today because I actually do want to see if maybe I can find a way to get this to work. But, it's like even the blimp idea, right? Like how am I gonna, I could get spires off it, I guess. Oh, crash and storms, that makes sense. Anyway, TV, alright, have a good one, Emperor. Stop shooting down a blimp being used for anti-sub scout in case something. Oh, cool. Interesting. Yeah, maybe. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna work on this style more offline, I think. I think it's just combining the Gothic aspect with the ships is what's really causing issues right now. I think that's what the issue is. So I think for now we'll just switch over to roasts, and we'll just call it a day because I don't have the sauce right now. This is the main reason why it's been so long to do these builds, because there's just some days where I'm like, I just don't know how I want to do this. All right, let's close this. There we go. All right, we have quite a few builds from the last week at least, which is nice. All right, so Artemis, LND, Dolphin, Combination, Pelican, the Bridges, I think that's what I ever. Chromium, Cope, Aphon, Bedrock, Battle Class. Didn't you already show off the Bedrock, Monkey Man? Okay, Sirocco and Capital 2. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I wish we had more of a chance. I need to rework how I want to do this, I think I need to come at it from a sense of building the individual parts and then seeing how I want them to fit together. I think that's what we need to do. If I had to guess. I'm not going to worry about ads. I'm just going to hop right in. We don't have too many this week. Which is a nice little change of pace, I must admit. Alright, into the roasts. Let's go. Okay. Aphon. Let's see what we got. Oh, Ben did not follow the 1 megabyte rule. That's fine. Ooh, nice. Okay. Very cool. This is, I think this is Ben's, but yeah. Like 95% sure. Yeah, this is Ben's, okay. Ben, I really like this. This is cool as hell. You got some nice VLS at the front. Very good shaping on this. How much, Okay, yeah, that's what I expected. I saw the shape and I was like, wait a second, those are half blocks. Wait a minute. But no, still really good shaping. How's it look aerodynamic view? Okay, yeah, the shaping is there, good. As long as the shaping is there, I don't mind stuff being decoed. I like the little sail at the front, that's very nice. And as you go around, I will say, it feels like there's a little bit too much of the GT secondary color. Or whatever this color is here. Is that detail or secondary? I don't remember. But I'd like to see a little bit darker colors. Aside from that, the superstructure looks very World War II, which I love on GT designs. I like the little jets coming out the back here. And then back here, your main jet actually does look really nice. Maybe this is the style. Oh, you know what? Maybe this would work with the Marion, the puppeteer style, actually. Do like smaller Gothic details for superstructure and then go from there. Since it's effectively unarmed, it just says that small VLS at the front. Yeah, that's fine. It's not about being armed or unarmed, it's about looking good. Also, that's still 400 firepower worth of missiles at the front. Can't really call it unarmed when it has 400 firepower, you know? Aside from that, I don't really have any notes, aside from just the paint scheme, right? But painting experience comes with time. So, I feel like it's not the biggest issue. But yeah, honestly, aside from that, really good work. East Sirocco. This doesn't look like the Sirocco. The Sirocco's a deep water guard plane. This looks like just a small little shitter. Oh, as far as microfighters go, good job on the detail. Though I'm sad you didn't fit a chair in there, honestly. I understand why you couldn't, but I am sad about it. Got the camera. Oh my god, the little camera on the side. That's adorable. I love that. Didn't deco the missiles. Oh, come on, Carson. Where's my missile deco? The old one, yeah, before I added the cool buildings. Okay, as long as it was a significant enough change, that's fine. Alright, not too bad. I'm a fan of this. I like it quite a bit. Alright,
All right, show me your base. There goes Glaubert floating off into the Atlantic. Okay, so it's about the same as where it was the last time I saw it. These little buildings back here are quite nice. Yeah, it's the same. It's stylistically consistent, which is what you want to see with builds like this. The lava texture works now because I actually have M in the alpha test. I don't like the TG cam. I would have preferred normal lava. But hey, it's the best you can do, right, with what you got. If it saves you having to put more stuff in the game, I understand why you had to do that. Missile box launchers look great. Aside from that, not much to complain about, really. It's a good job, Monkey Man. Alright, and now this time he missed his roast. We're gonna be doing a speed run of these roasts today, I think. Alright, Catboy 2, let's see what you got. No paints. I kind of like the Dishka at the front, that's cute, but I don't know about the rest of it. It feels like a very metal heavy for the design. I like the concept. It's quite a cute little concept. I just feel like there's more you could do with a bulldozer, you know? Hey, Monkey Man. He did catch it this time, nice. The dozer blade itself, though, was quite nice. Good job on that. Yeah, not a bad little time. Though I think it does need some more... I don't know, I think it should be scaled up and have more details on it. It's a work in progress? Ah, fair enough. Yeah, I just don't know, because this is based off those little, what are they called? We use them at work all the time. Skid steers. This looks like a skid steer, right? So... I think the windscreen doesn't really matter. No, it doesn't, does it? It could be detail colored too. Honestly, what would be really fun is I kind of want to take a skid steer base, take off the plow and the tracks, and make it into a walker. I think that would be actually a really fun idea now that I'm thinking about it. Because Deep Water Car does kind of need a walker. Well, I'd say that doesn't need a walker, but I'd like to have at least one. I just think it'd be really funny to see a skid steer converted into a walker. Alright, let's see what this little guy is. Alright, T-Lad. Definitely rougher than your other styles design so far. Also, the strobe light's not great. Where do you have that? Let's get rid of that. Why do you have that on here? I gotta sneeze. Hey, you know what we're gonna do instead? We're just gonna remove the light. One second, there we go. Alright. So what I see here, I see... honestly, not as good as your usual style, I have to admit to you, lad. Those radiators are very bare bones stylistically. They don't really look like they add much. The machinery on the bottom looks great, but your paneling up top leaves a little bit to be desired. Especially if it's meant to blend in with the other faction. If it's a different faction, that's fine too. Bobcats. Oh no, so Bobcat is a brand name. Skid Steer is the vehicle name. And then same with back here, your engine layout is a little bit rough. I'd love to see this refined down a little bit more. It's very square, very wide. Get rid of you. Okay. Delphin. Okay, interesting. What is this little critter? Can't even tell what colors would work best with it on. GT works fine. Alright, okay, this is Melazor's. Okay. It's very organic looking. That's cool. Kind of reminds me of a crustacean, I want to say. Aside from that, though, I don't see what it's really going to be. I don't know what you really want advice on this for. Like... So this is where you run into the issue of like I don't mind people sending in work in progress stuff because I understand, you know, like they want advice on where to take it, but you still have to have it a little bit more done first, right? Because when you submit something like this, I have no idea what it's going to be, so how am I supposed to give advice here, right? So just something to think about when you're submitting designs. I need to be able to tell what it's going to be if you want advice on it. All right, Domination B. What the hell is this syrup? Syrup, what the fuck? Why is it sitting like that? Why did you make a TG... Did you give the TG mech fishnets? What the fuck? Give it heels, that's fine. Alright. Thank you for giving it a breastplate, very cool. No, we're not doing that. That is funny, though. Alright, incredible name for it, by the way. That's really funny, actually. Alright, oh, Killdozer, nice. Look at this little guy. Yeah, so this is going back to like that, the bulldozer aesthetic, right? Or skid steer aesthetic. Obviously, this one's meant to recreate the Killdozer, so I'm not going to complain too much there. But like, how would you add a weapon to this if you were to make it Yellow Jackets, right? The twin goon guard mech. Do not make TG into the twin gooners. Oh my god. Yeah, so you have a killdozer here, but okay, now there's a gun on the side. Okay, yeah, so that's actually this would be a pretty unique way of making like the scrapworks, for example. I still want to redo the scrapworks into a proper killdozer at some point, so good shaping on this, not too much issue. A little bit basic. I could, you could put some greebling on it, like maybe put some machinery on the sides. But then again, excuse me, the killdozer historically was just an armored bulldozer, had concrete, metal, a bunch of shit like that, right? So can make the torso masculine for the twink guard. Oh god. Aside from that, good work on the detail down below. I love the way you did the rollers. I need to do more rollers properly. It's one of the things I always forget on my builds is to do the tracks properly. Yeah, not a bad little guy. I quite like it. It's a cute little guy. Alright, Pelican. Alright. Okay, torpedo bomber presumably, or is this a... Oh, no, is this just an air-to-air missile? Or anti-ship missile, maybe? Probably. I'm hoping anti-ship missile. This is an air-to-air missile. That poor aircraft that takes this. I do like the idea of prop planes just having air-to-ship missiles. I think that's really, really funny. Stylistically, you're fine, but you could stand to smooth it out a little bit, like back here, for example. You could always smooth it out just the smallest amount. Something like this just makes it, a little bit smoother. It's not the worst case, though, so you probably should be fine. Yeah, there's worse cases to deal with there. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Not a bad little design, though. I quite like it. It's quite cute. You can see the missile deco popping out the side there, which is very funny. Gives it a little bit of a spiky definition. I like that. I like that a lot. And then the nose being so flat, though, that I don't like the wedge nose, I have to admit. The double prop is interesting, but the wedge nose there makes it feel a little bit too flat. That's my only issue if I had to have one with that design. Cute little build, though. Alright, TG Cobra. Yeah, there he goes. He can't swim, so he will drown, but that's okay. The dinosaurs will go extinct. Alright, I will say, but it doesn't look friendly enough still, unfortunately. My biggest complaint with it, I do like the look of the armor and the body. I think you've molded that pretty well, but you need a little bit more on work on the face to make it look a little bit friendlier. Because right now he does not look like he wants to give me a hug. Aside from that, all the other limbs look nice. You have more gold and green on the leg now, which is a nice little touch. But I will say you are missing out on that gold on the rest of the craft. Maybe a little bit more yellow and green and other stuff on the rest of the body, not just the legs. And then, of course, I still think he needs to have that, like, Calliope-style missile rack on his back. Maybe do, like, EMP missiles or harpoons to burn enemies into him. He is shy. True, he is. Aside from that, though, not much else to really talk about. I think you're good. Not a bad little time. Alright, TGS Artemis. Okay, so interestingly enough, I like this build. Nothing wrong with it, Ginger. Actually, you know what? No, I actually... Oh, the little kangaroo on the side, that's cute. Alright, is there anything I don't like about it? Let's pause it here. How many decos do you have? 5,000. Okay, yeah, I was wondering why I was killing my bit, right? So, it's not bad. Is there anything I would really change on it? No, the turrets are good. That was good. Camouflage really adds to paint. That's fine. This doesn't feel like 5,000 decos. What are you using all those decos on? Like, where's my menu go? Oh, 1 second. It's bugging. The alpha test is so buggy, I hate it. There we go. No, okay, my menu is... There we go. Alright, finally got the menu back. Yeah, I was trying to open up this menu, it just wouldn't open up. Okay, most of your shaping's there. So what are you using the decos on? You have ducks down below. I feel like there's definitely some copied decos here, because I don't feel like this should be this level of deco. So I feel like something's gone wrong here. I like the way you implemented the roll props. You at least gave them ducks, which I appreciate. Yeah, because something this size shouldn't need 5,000. So I would be sure to double check this build for duplicated decos if you were like prefabbing anything, or maybe you had mirror mode on. But it's pretty good. I will say the one thing you can add to your builds though is a little bit more asymmetry. Because right now even your detection equipment is symmetrical, and so that's a really good spot to have asymmetry on your builds. Like these antennae can all be different heights, right? You know, maybe have antenna on some sides but not other sides, stuff like that. That would be a really good way to add asymmetry to your builds. But aside from that, it's not bad. Good work on it. I really like it. It's a fantastic start to a build. Good job. All right. Val class interceptor. That's an Arwin from. That's just an Arwin. There we go. So, issue here is rounded cockpit. You want to make sure that, again, if you're going to be having a very square build like this, do not have a rounded cockpit. It ruins the vibe. Aside from that, the wings look great. I like how it's offset everywhere. I like the angle on it. Yeah, it's honestly just the cockpit that kind of ruins this. Just square out the cockpit, square out the fuselage a little bit, because again, fully rounded builds, like you can see here how the exact moment it switches to a square. Just, it kind of messes with the build. Isn't the eyes are what makes it friendly or not? The eyes would definitely help, because thin slitted eyes like that are very much predator eyes, and not necessarily, you know, big friendly hug eyes, right? So that's the big thing you want to watch out for there. All right, yeah, I like this. Not really much else to add. It's a small build. All right, and then last build for today. This is the fastest roast we've done in a while. It's only been 16 minutes. Let's go. All right, I quite like this little guy. Let's give him LH colors. Why not? Ugh, no. There we go. White flare colors work. All right, so first off, you sit very low in the water line to the point where your water's coming up on deck. I would fix the water line personally so that it actually sits at the water line on that you've painted on here. So just raise it up a little bit. Aside from that, superstructure's solid. Same idea that Artemis had though, right? Asymmetry would really help you. You're very symmetrical right now. So asymmetry would help you. Oh, I like the way you did your smokestack. Good job there. Like the symbol, lifeboats are secured. Very nice. Got these nice little angled areas here where the crew can walk between. You got portholes. You got a nice superstructure. And the turrets are pretty good. Yeah, not bad, honestly. I kind of like this. This is it's very basic though, especially at the stern. I would love to see the stern a little bit more shape, for lack of a better word. I think the bow is. I think everything at the front is fine. You just need a little bit more detail and shaping at the stern. It's very square and it's very short. But aside from that, it's not bad. Good work. Alrighty, I think that's all for today. So let's yap about this weekend. What do we want to do this weekend? I personally think we're probably going to end up doing some, let's say, I kind of want to play. I want to play. I don't have anything to do in EU5. Maybe we'll just do FTD this weekend, honestly. Just some FTD without roasts. And then, well, we'll see how I'm feeling. It might be an Ivorian weekend. I'll figure out later tonight what I want to do, and then I'll put it in the schedule, I think. Because we also go back and complete some games from the subathon that we haven't done yet. Because like 2 days is a long time, right? So we can just throw on some stuff there. But regardless, that's gonna be all for me today, I think. Let's go find someone to raid, shall we? You know what? Is V still gonna be streaming for a while? V ending. Okay, V's gonna be streaming for a while. Let's go right into V, shall we? Raid Viola Bunny. She's an IRL friend of mine, so we're gonna be nice when we raid, okay, guys? Let's hit her with the stream safety inspection, of course. I'm surprised she's still up, honestly. I feel like oh, daylight savings, right? All right, there's our raid message. And aside from that, we'll figure out what we want to do later. I'll figure out what I want to do later tonight for the next few days. Well, I'll figure something out, I'm sure. I'm just not. I'm very much in a YouTube focused mode right now, so I haven't been thinking too much about Twitch content. And it's probably going to be like that for the next few months as I pivot more towards YouTube. But we'll see. Maybe we'll find some stuff that is actually really fun to do on Twitch again.
aside from that, hope you guys all have a wonderful afternoon, evening, or morning, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.